The cold wind of Varela 9 howled outside the metal walls of the outpost. Inside, Cole Andrews sat alone, sipping cold coffee and watching a blinking screen dot. It had been a boring day. Nothing new, no visitors, no distress calls. Just silence. Cole was a human engineer, posted far from Earth. He had been fixing satellites and communication towers for years. He liked the quiet, or at least he thought he did, until the screen blinked in a way it shouldn't have. Beep, beep. A red light flashed an encrypted transmission. Cole leaned forward. "That's impossible," he whispered. He entered a few codes. The screen cracked with static. Then, a voice, soft, broken. "Alien. Human, if you hear this, I'm coming." His heart stopped. That voice. He remembered that voice. ZYR 8.5. Years ago, she had crashed near his station. Wounded. Scared. Hunted. She wasn't just any alien, she was a royal. From a species that hated humans. But she had trusted him. He had saved her life. And then she left. No goodbye. No message. Nothing. He never saw her again. He tried to forget. But her eyes, her voice, they stayed in his dreams. Now she was back. He replayed the message. "Human, I never forgot." Cole stood up slowly, his hand shaking. "This has to be a trap. Someone's playing with me." He checked the coordinates in the message. It wasn't far. Just beyond the cliff ridge, a dead zone, no power. Number. Life. Suddenly, outside, a flash of light in the sky. He rushed to the window. A small ship, spinning, burning, falling, crash. The ground shook. Smoke rose in the distance. Cole grabbed his jacket, his blaster, and ran out into the cold night. The rocks were sharp under his boots. The wind sliced across his face. But he kept running. Memories flooded his mind. Zira. Bleeding. Zira, laughing at his clumsy cooking. Zira, standing in the rain saying, "You're different from the others." Why had she returned? After 5 long years. And why now? When he reached the crash site, his breath caught in his throat. The ship was a mess, metal twisted, smoke rising. He approached carefully. Suddenly, movement. A figure stumbled out, coughing. Fall into one knee. Cole raised his blaster. Then, the moonlight hit her face. His heart stopped. It was her. ZYR. But not the Zira he remembered. This Zira looked tired, thin, bruised. Her glowing blue eyes had lost their shine. Her once silver armor was cracked and burned. She looked up at him. "You came," she whispered, smiling weakly. He couldn't speak. He slowly lowered his blaster. She tried to stand but fell. He rushed forward and caught her. Her body trembled in his arms. "I had nowhere else to go," she said, voice shaking. "They're after me, my own people." Cole looked around. "Who? Why?" she coughed. "Because I refuse to kill you." He stared at her, stung. Before he could ask more, her eyes rolled back. She fainted in his arms. Cole lifted her gently and carried her back toward his outpost. But his mind raced. Why had she come back now? Who was chasing her? And what did she mean by, "I refuse to kill you"? The wind howled louder. From the shadows. Behind the cliff. Something was watching. The door of the outpost slammed shut behind him. Cole placed her gently on the medical bench. She was cold. Her breathing was slow. Her skin, once smooth and glowing, was now rough, bruised, and covered in thin white scars. He hadn't seen her in 5 years, and now she was dying in his arms. He activated the med scanner. The screen lit up red. Severe blood loss, internal damage, radiation exposure. Her body was fighting too hard. She needed rest. She needed time. He sat beside her, silent, watching the way her chest rose and fell. Slow, painful. This wasn't the Zyra he remembered. The proud alien warrior who once stood tall, eyes full of fire. The Zyra looked like a woman who had lost everything. He touched one of the scars on her arm. Thin, straight, cruel. Not from war. Not from an accident, from punishment. Who did this to you? He whispered. Suddenly, her hand snapped up, grabbing his wrist. Her eyes flew open, wild, afraid. Don't touch me. She gasped. Cole froze. Zira. She looked around, panicked. Where am I? What is this place? He kept his voice calm. My outpost. Same as before. You're safe now. She blinked. The fear in her eyes slowly melted into something else. Sadness. Her grip loosened. She turned her face away. I'm sorry, reflex. I didn't mean to. He pulled up a chair and sat. You were tortured. She stayed silent. I saw the scars. Still silent. Zira, who did this to you? She looked at him. Her lips trembled. My people, she said quietly. The same ones who told me to kill you 5 years ago. Cole's eyes narrowed. You were sent here to kill me? She nodded slowly. But you didn't, her voice cracked. Because you were kind. Because you made me feel human. She held up her arm and showed him a burn mark. A brand. They called it betrayal. I called it mercy. Cole swallowed hard. She continued, voice low. I was taken back to my planet. Trial, imprisonment, years of silence. No sunlight, no stars, just pain. They asked me again and again, why didn't I kill the human? She touched the side of her neck, another scar. They didn't want answers. They wanted a warning for others. Cole leaned back in shock. Zira, why did you come back after all this? She looked straight into his eyes. Because in all that darkness there was one light I remembered. Your face, your voice, your hand holding mine. I came back because I had nowhere else to go. He stood up, walked to the window. The night outside was deep and black. Someone followed you, he said. She nodded. Yes, they won't stop until I'm dead. And anyone who helps me. Cole looked at her. You think I'm scared? Zira smiled faintly. No, that's why I came back. Suddenly alarm beeps, motion sensors. Outer perimeter. Something was moving out there. Zira stood weakly, clutching the bench. They found me. Cole grabbed his blaster and tossed her another. You can barely walk, he said. I can still shoot, she replied. Their eyes met. Old feelings weren't dead. They were just buried beneath scars, silence, and time. But now, they were rising again. With fire, outside in the dark, the hunters closed in. The morning came too slowly. Cole hadn't slept. Neither had she. They sat on opposite sides of the small outpost, silent. Weapons charged, eyes tired. The threat was real. Something had moved outside last night. But nothing attacked. Now it was quiet again. Too quiet. Cole finally broke the silence. You said they ordered you to kill me. Why didn't you? Zira didn't look at him. Her fingers traced a line down her arm, a faded mark he hadn't noticed before. Not a scar, a tattoo. Ancient symbols from her culture. She spoke softly. Because you looked at me like I was alive. He frowned. What do you mean? She finally met his eyes. Everyone who saw me saw a weapon, a killer. Royal blood. Trained hands. But you gave me soup. You gave me warmth. You made bad jokes. She smiled faintly. Terrible jokes, actually. Cole chuckled, despite the tension. I've been practicing. She tilted her head. They haven't improved. They both laughed for the first time in 5 years. Zira's smile faded. I thought about you. Every day in prison, I tried to erase your face. I failed. She looked away again. Do you know how many times I almost screamed your name? When they beat me? Cole's jaw clenched. I'm sorry, he said, voice low. For what? For not finding you. For thinking you left because you didn't care. Zira blinked. Hard, like she was holding something back. No human. I cared too much. That's why I ran. A silence hung between them, heavy, full of pain and memories. Then she stood slowly. Her body was still weak, but her back was straight, proud. You're not just some human I met once. You were my first taste of peace. Cole stepped forward. And you were the first person who made me feel needed. Zira laughed under her breath. Funny. The assassin and the engineer. Sounds like a bad romance drama, he grinned. With terrible jokes. They stood close now, inches apart. Then, her hand reached up slowly. She touched his cheek. Even if I die, I wanted to see you again, one last time. He didn't pull away. I'm not letting you die, he said. Outside a screech echoed through the valley. Zira turned sharply. They're close. Cole moved to the panel. His scanners picked up 3 heat signatures. Fast, coordinated. They're hunting. Closing in, he said. Zira grabbed her rifle. Then we move now. Before they surround us. Cole hesitated. Zira, if we survive this, what then? She looked at him, eyes fierce. Then I stop running, and I stay. Suddenly crash. The wall beside them exploded, inward, metal shrapnel flying. Cole grabbed Zira, pushing her down behind cover. Through the smoke, tall armored figures stepped in. Alien assassins, blades drawn. Eyes glowing. Zira growled. It's my sister. Cole looked at her. What? Zira stood up, rifle ready. She was the one who gave the order to kill you. He stood beside her. You sure you can shoot? He asked. Zira smiled. You should see what I do when I'm angry. The two stood side by side, ready to fight, but this wasn't just war. Anymore. This was personal. Asterisk, the air was thick with smoke and dust. Cole's ears rang from the explosion. Shattered metal covered the floor. Lights flickered overhead. Zira was already on her feet, rifle aimed. Her body trembled, not from fear, but from fury. Across the broken wall, 3 assassins stepped through the smoke, tall, armored, moving like shadows. Their eyes glowed red. Their blades hissed with poison. The tallest removed their helmet. Zira froze. No, she whispered. It was her sister. Same sharp cheekbones, same glowing tattoos. But no warmth in her eyes, just cold hate. You broke the oath, the sister said. You touched the human. You protected him. Now you die beside him. Zira raised her weapon. You were the one who gave the order, weren't you? Her sister nodded. He's a weakness. You became. 1-2. Cole looked between them, confused. This is your sister? Zira didn't take her eyes off the woman. We trained together, fought side by side. She's faster than me. Smarter. The sister tilted her head. But you're softer now. A shot rang out. Cole had fired straight at the second assassin. Hit. The fight began. Zira rolled left. Cole ducked right. Blaster bolts flew. The assassins moved like shadows, flipping over cover. Blades flashing. One charged at Cole. He shot again, missed. Dove behind a metal beam. Another assassin grabbed Zira by the throat. Slammed her into the wall. She screamed, then headbutted. Him kicked his knee out and stabbed her blade into his side. Cole, sweating, blood on his forehead, found his footing and fired again. This time, the blast hit the assassin in the shoulder. Sparks flew. Armor cracked, but it wasn't enough. The last assassin, Zira's sister, leapt down from the wall and landed between them. Her blade hovered near Cole's neck. He dies now, Zira shouted. No! She aimed her weapon, but her hands shook. The sister smirked. You love him? A human? How pathetic. Cole stood frozen. Zira, don't hesitate. But she didn't move. Her sister pressed the blade closer. Say goodbye. Bang! A hidden blaster trap from the ceiling fired Cole had activated. It remotely. The bolt slammed into the sister's arm. She screamed, dropping the blade. Zira rushed in, tackled her to the ground. The sisters wrestled. grunting, slamming into walls, fists flying. 2 warriors, 2 sisters. 1 betrayal. Cole pulled out a stun grenade and threw it into the hallway. Boom. The blast knocked the second assassin off his feet. Cole fired 1 shot, then another, finally taking him down. Smoke filled the room. Zira stood over her sister, breathing hard, blade in hand. Her sister lay broken, coughing blood, but smiling. He'll never love you back, Zira, not truly. Not when he sees what you've done, what you are. Zira raised her blade, but Cole stepped in. Don't, he said. She tried to kill you. I know. She tried to kill me. I know, he said again. He walked closer, voice calm. But if you cross that line, you'll never come back. Zira stared at him. Her hand trembled. Slowly, she lowered the blade. Her sister laughed weakly, soft. Zira turned away. No, just not heartless like you. The last assassin was gone, dead, escaped. Didn't matter now. Zira collapsed to her knees. Why does it hurt so much? Cole sat beside her, quiet, then said, because you're still capable of love. Scene change. Later that night. Outpost was silent again. Zira sat on the floor, cleaning her wounds. Cole handed her a drink. You hesitated, he said softly. She nodded. I wanted to protect you. But I also wanted to prove to her I was still strong. He sat down beside her. You are strong. You didn't kill her. That's strength too. Zira looked at him. Eyes soft again. I don't know what happens next, she said. Cole stared out the window. The stars were quiet again. I think we just survive, one day at a time. She leaned against his shoulder. Would you survive with me, human? Or would you rather I disappear again? Cole didn't speak. He just reached over and gently held her hand. The rain came without warning. It wasn't a storm, just a slow, soft drizzle falling from the dark clouds above Varela 9. The kind of rain that made silence louder. Inside the outpost, the walls were cracked, wires dangled, and the smell of smoke still clung to the air. But for the first time in days, there was no danger. No alarms, no blades, no running. Only her. Zira sat quietly near the backup heater, a towel around her shoulders, her silver hair damp, clinging to her face. She hadn't spoken much since the fight. Her sister was gone. Maybe dead, maybe not. It didn't matter now. What mattered was this strange, silent feeling sitting between them, like something waiting to be said. Or done. Cole placed 2 cups on the table, hot liquid. Slightly bitter, alien herbs. The only thing left in his supply. He handed her one. She looked at it, then at him, still bitter. He smiled, still alive. She took a slow sip. Both are rare. They sat across from each other. The lights flickered. The room was warm, but not from the heater. From them. He noticed the way she held the cup with both hands, like it might slip away. Like he might slip away. And then she asked, softly, why didn't you let me kill her? He looked up. Because I didn't want to lose you to something dark. She stared into her cup. I've already done things I can't erase, Cole. He leaned forward. So have I. She looked at him now, really looked, eyes tired, but open. I thought maybe, if I kept running, the pain would fade. He nodded. Did it? She shook her head slowly. I still wake up hearing your voice. He swallowed hard. Zira. She stood up, walked toward him slowly, every step quiet. She stopped right in front of him, her hands trembling just slightly. I never forgot your touch, she said. His breath caught. I told myself it meant nothing, she whispered. But it meant everything. He reached out and brushed a wet strand of hair from her cheek. She didn't pull away. Instead, she closed her eyes and leaned into his hand. Her voice shook. If I only have one night before they find us again, can I spend it not feeling alone? He stood. Now they were face to face. No distance. No armor. Just two broken people finally breathing the same air. "You're not alone," he said. She placed her forehead against his. His hand slid around her waist, and slowly. They touched, not like warriors, not like fugitives, but like two souls who had been waiting for this moment since the day they were torn apart. Her breath hitched as his lips brushed hers, but she didn't stop him. Her arms wrapped around his neck. Her body pressed close, her eyes fluttered shut. The kiss was slow, careful, like they were both afraid it would break them. She whispered, "Is this wrong?" He whispered back, "Nothing's wrong if it feels like coming home." Later that night, they lay wrapped in blankets, her head resting on his chest, listening to his heartbeat. She traced circles on his skin with her fingers. "I thought my heart was hardened," she said quietly. He held her tighter. "So did I." There was no need to speak more. No promises. No questions. Only warmth. Only now. Outside, the rain kept falling. But for once, neither of them wanted to run. The warmth of the night didn't last long. By morning, the outpost's warning systems blinked again. Zira stood at the console, silent, pale. Her shoulders were tense. Eyes locked on the incoming transmission. Cole stepped beside her. "What is it?" She didn't speak. He looked at the screen symbols he couldn't read. "Zyra?" Her voice came low. "Hollow. It's the High House. They've issued a blood oath against me." He blinked. "What does that mean?" Her hand clenched into a fist. "It means I've broken the final law, by sparing you, by loving you. They've branded me a traitor." Cole frowned. "So they'll send more assassins?" She shook her head. "No, not this time." She turned to face him. "This time, I have to fight." Flashback. Zira's world. Zira stood as a child, sword in hand, while her sister circled her. "If you ever betray the throne, Zira, the blood oath will be called. You'll fight your kin. No mercy. No escape." She remembered the blade slicing her cheek. She remembered not crying. Because in her world, tears were weakness. Present. Zira walked out into the open sky. She dropped to her knees and carved a mark into the dirt with her knife, a warrior's circle. Cole followed her out. "What are you doing?" She didn't answer at first. Then she said, "This is the challenge ground, sacred to my people." He stepped closer. "You're calling them to come here?" She nodded. "By blood code, they must answer. One warrior from their side. One from mine. No one else may interfere." Cole shook his head. "That's suicide." Zira looked at him. "If I don't fight, they'll come anyway. But this time, they'll bring death to everything near me, including you." He stepped forward. "Then we fight." She gently touched his chest. "You don't understand. This is between me and my past. My sister may come again, or someone worse. But this is mine." He swallowed hard. "And if you lose?" Zira's voice cracked. "Then you never see me again." The words hung in the air like a blade. That night Cole sat in the shadows, staring at the empty challenge ground. He hated it. The rules. The blood. The silence before a storm. He hated not being able to help her. Zira sat cross-legged near the circle, her eyes closed, her breathing slow. Preparing. Remembering. Trying not to look at him, because she didn't want him to see the fear in her eyes. Then a whistle in the wind. She stood from the sky. A sleek black vessel descended. Dust flew everywhere. The door hissed open. A single warrior stepped out, towering, masked, cloaked in royal colors. Zira's eyes widened. "The blade of Vorka," she whispered. "They sent their champion." Cole stood up, heart racing. "He's huge." Zira whispered, "He's death." The warrior entered the circle. Zira followed. No words were spoken. Only blades were drawn. Cole clenched his fists. His entire body screamed to jump in, to fight, to protect her. But the rules were clear. One touch from him, and Zira would forfeit. She looked back just once. He gave her a nod, and then the fight began. The duel, the blade of Vorka moved faster than anyone Cole had ever seen. Zyra dodged, ducked, blocked, but he was stronger. He pushed her back with every strike. She stumbled once, blood on her lip, cracked ribs, but she didn't stop. She whispered Cole's name. Then something inside her shifted. She attacked ferocious, precise. A cut to the leg, a slash across his arm, a feint, a twist. The blade roared. She leapt into the air, spinning, landing behind him, and stabbed deep into the back of his knee. He dropped to one leg. She pressed the blade to his throat. The circle fell silent. "Yield," she said. He didn't move. She pressed harder. "Yield." Finally, the warrior dropped his blade. It was done. She had won. Moments later, Cole ran to her as she stumbled out of the circle. She collapsed into his arms. "It's over," she whispered. He held her tightly. "You're safe now." But her voice was distant, weak. "Not yet. One more choice remains." He looked confused. "What choice?" She looked up at him, eyes glassy. "I can return to my people now, forgiven, or I can stay and be exiled forever." His heart dropped. "And if you stay, they will never stop hunting us." He stared into her eyes, then asked the only question that mattered. "Do you want to go back, or do you want me?" She didn't blink. "I chose you the first time. I'm not choosing anything else now." The sun was rising over Varela 9. Not that it mattered. For the first time in years, Zira had no mission, no orders, and no home to return to. The blood oath was fulfilled. Her enemies had stood down for now. But the price was clear. She could never go back. Cole watched her from the outpost steps, arms crossed, silent. She stood a few feet away, looking at the stars like they were saying goodbye. "They'll send more someday," she said quietly. "Hunters, agents, shadows." He nodded. "I know." She didn't turn around. "And if they capture me alive, they'll make me pay again. Worse this time." Cole stepped closer. "Then don't get captured." She smiled, just barely. "Still bad at comforting." He shrugged. "Still better than letting you go." She turned to face him finally, those silver blue eyes soft with something he'd only seen in them once before. Peace. But also hesitation. "I can leave now," she said. "Run again, disappear. Maybe they'll stop chasing you." He looked down. "Maybe." Then looked back up, straight into her eyes. "But I won't stop chasing you." Zira's breath caught in her throat. "I never asked you to love me," she whispered. He replied softly, "You didn't have to." The decision. She stood still for a long moment, then pulled something from her side, a glowing device, like a thin silver coin. "This," she said, "calls a stealth ship. It can take me anywhere in the galaxy. No trace, no trail." She held it out in her hand, staring at it. "If I activate it, I vanish again, gone before the next threat comes." Cole said nothing, just watched her. Waited. Then she tossed the coin into the fire. The flames flashed blue, and it melted instantly. Cole's eyes widened. Zyra turned to him with a slow smile. "I'm done running." The cabin. Weeks passed. They built a shelter deeper in the valley, hidden from satellites, trackers, and scanners. Zyra helped with the beams, Cole with the tech. They laughed, argued, fell asleep on the floor. Woke up holding hands. One night, while stargazing, Cole asked, "If you could go back and change just one thing, what would it be?" Zyra thought for a moment. "I wouldn't have waited 5 years." He looked at her. "You think we could have had this earlier?" She leaned her head on his shoulder. "No, I think we needed to be broken first, to really belong together." The final visit. One morning, a ship appeared in the sky. It didn't attack. Didn't scan, just hovered, waiting. Zyra stood on a hill, Cole beside her. A female voice came through the air, calm, cold. You are exiled, Zirave. This is your final chance to return to the High House and accept judgment. Zero replied loudly. Clearly, I've already made my choice. Silence. Then the ship rose and disappeared into the clouds. Cole looked at her. You sure they won't be back? Zira smiled. If they do, we'll make tea. Final scene that night, it rained again. Not hard. Just soft enough to make everything feel alive. Inside the cabin, Zira lay beside Cole, tracing lines across his chest with her fingertip. Do you ever wonder, she whispered, if your life would have been easier without me? He pulled her closer. Easier maybe, but not worth living. She pressed her lips to his. Soft, slow, real, not a goodbye. A beginning.